What is up, lefties? How is it going? It is your boy Michael Harris, joined as always with Lincoln Cook. How's it going?
You know, when life gives you horse manure, you just say, I'm going to USAMs next week. And man, we got a fun show for you today.
Yeah,
So let's get going, man.
perfect. Um,
We got, do you want me to recap or preview the show?
sure. Yeah, give us a rundown of what's to come.
Okay. Well, I think this is going to be a very fun episode for us. Not only because we're another week closer to USAMs, but you've got a tournament this weekend.
Yeah.
So we get to do a little bit of a in the bag tournament prep for you.
Yep.
We're going to first start out with, of course, disc golf news and notes. We're going to recap the Cascade Challenge that went down this weekend in Shelton, Washington. We're going to do our picks for the Portland Open this weekend in Portland, Oregon, not Maine, for any losers who think that Portland, Maine is better than Portland, Oregon. And then we're going to do a dealer's choice 20 questions to try to guess the disc that I'm thinking of, followed by your in the bag for your tournament. And we'll talk a little bit about your tournament as well. And then we'll finish it off with the tournament prep that we're doing this week.
Yeah. Perfect.
And before we get into Cascade Challenge, next week is going to be, of course, a very special episode because it's the week before, or the couple days before USAMs. But we are going to be doing an live in person podcast next week.
Not on Zoom. So that's going to be really fun.
It's going to be sweet.
Just sit, chat, talk about disc golf. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a lot of time on our hands and we might come out with a few extra episodes. We might do a Instagram or YouTube live for any of our listeners that want to. Yeah. So we'll have time to kill. We can have Connor come on for once and yeah. Yeah. We'll just have a good time next week for sure. So make sure to follow us on our socials for all the behind the scenes of USAMs. So I'll get that posted in the show notes for sure.
Sweet. I'm going to do some posting myself on social media, which I never do, but
yeah. Perfect.
Why not, right?
Yeah. All right. Cascade Challenge.
Okay. Cascade Challenge.
Welcome to the Northwest. We got lots of trees here. So we had going from the MPO first through almost 15th, I guess. But we had Ricky Wysocki taking it down. He's back. Followed by
I'm not going to say he's fully back because this was not a pro tour win, even though it's kind of a DGPT silver win.
Yeah.
But it was good to see him competing at a higher level than what he had been earlier.
A win is
in the limited time that he has been.
I wouldn't classify this as like that prestigious of a tournament to win. But for him, the season that he has been having so far, I mean, just because he's been out for so long, to come back, put 3 good rounds together, get that win, like get back in the winner's circle, can only give him so much confidence going forward. So
100%.
So he won it, and then coming up second is Matt Bell and Evan Scott, followed by
Evan Scott, man.
Yeah,
he's a kid.
17. Yeah, just put it all together, you know. James Conrad, Eagle McMahon, Anthony Varela, and Yona Heinonen. Probably butchered that name. Andrew Marweed in 8th place, and then we had a 6-way tie.
7-way tie.
Connor O'Reilly, Garrett Gerthy, Isaac Robinson, Andrew Presnell, Gavin Babcock, and Eric Oakley, rounding out the top
6-way tie for 9th place.
Top 14. Yeah. So
crazy. Were you able to watch any coverage?
I didn't watch any live. I watched a few post-produced shots here and there. I watched a lot of the highlights, but not really. It looked like a great technical course. Lots of varying distances, lots of kind of unique shots were required. A lot of trees, but not like very tree lined, where it just required a lot of like accurate shots off the tee.
Yeah, it looked like a course that I would enjoy playing because you don't need to be the longest thrower. You need to just hit your targets.
Yeah.
For instance, Anthony Barella, who did well, fifth place.
Yeah.
He had a shot on a par 4 that was like 600 feet, and that 600-foot shot did not put him in any position better than a 450-foot shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that 150 feet didn't gain him much benefit because it was all about the approach shot anyways. So it was like, I don't know. I liked that though, It didn't give... It required more hitting your landing zones at specific distances within the woods.
Yeah, it kind
of thought it was cool.
It challenged a person's entire game instead of just their distance and putting abilities. Obviously, you still have to make your putts, but your forehand, backhand, distance control, angle control, all that it was tested in the woods.
And speaking of testing your entire game, James Conrad put on a clinic in round 1.
Yeah.
Shot -14. Started out 5 birdies, then a par, then 4 birdies, then a par, and finished with 3 birdies. So he was just ripping them off. It was a 1096 rated round.
Yeah. Why?
Which take ratings with a grain of salt, but
he bested
still
the field
impressive.
By the second place person behind him was 3 strokes back. And that's just the second
round
place.
1, so that's insane.
Yeah. But I thought the course was good because he followed that up with what is that score?
Second round was only -6. He had a double and 3 bogeys.
But like there was trouble, but it didn't seem like it seemed very fair. Where it wasn't like gimmicky. It's just some days you can be throwing the disc and the trees are invisible, and the other days you will get every kick known to man. So
and Ricky won playing consistent. He went -9, -9, -11. So that's what it takes to win, 3 great rounds. Especially when it's a 3-round tournament, like we always talk about.
Yeah, got to start.
But
so cool. Moving on to FPO.
It was a good tournament in preparation for Portland Open, which will be kind of a similar vibe, if you will.
Yeah.
FPO, we had Kat Merch taking it down at -11, followed by Sayananda -8, and then a 3-way tie for third with Holland Hanley, Maria Oliva, and Lisa Fakis at -4.
So the normal suspects rose to the top, and then Kat Merch just kind of ran away with it at the end there.
Yeah, I mean, she beat Sayananda in the final round by 4 strokes.
Yeah.
And won the tournament by 3. So it's really just that final round.
Yep.
They were tied going into it pretty much.
Yeah. I think Sai had the 1-stroke lead, but not much. Yeah.
Right. They're neck and neck. So good to see Kat take it down, though. She has been playing well all season. So
yeah, pretty solid. All right. On to the Portland Open. You want to pull
Portland Open, baby.
Pull up our picks?
Yes, sir.
So
this was the one tournament last year that I wasn't able to watch. And I have it on my save to watch later on YouTube, and I still haven't got there.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Can you see this?
Going to take place on a beautiful looking golf course property, pristine, manicured, and have them throwing all sorts of directions. So we'll see what happens. Do you want to go over your picks?
Yeah. I took Eagle McMahon because this is the type of course he thrives on.
Yep.
I also took Grew Dibson. as some people call him. Aaron Goose Gossage, Cole Radolin, who's a Northwest kid, and James Proctor, who's also a Northwest player, right? Is he from Oregon or Washington?
I think he's from Oregon, but
can't remember.
Don't quote me on
they're
that.
They're Northwest people. We kind of group them together a little bit.
Yeah.
And then my wild card pick, I took Ryan Chesla, who is from Corvallis, Oregon. So
yeah,
I went with a little bit Northwest centric team this week.
Smart. I got to choose Ricky Wysocki. I think he'll kind of ride that wave of last week. And he's just hungry to play disc golf, and you don't want to play against Ricky when he's hungry to play. And then Ezra, Nicholas Antala, Kyle Klein, Adam Hammes, and then my dark horse pick is going to be Jaden Rye, young bomber out of Texas. So,
Team Lone Star.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Then your FPO, or you want to go mine?
Yeah, you can go your FPO.
So even though Kristen is there, I decided I wanted to just kind of wait. She's had a lot of time off, a lot of times out of the state. When she started the season kind of at that Waco tournament, she stumbled into that win. So I could easily see her doing it again. But I just picked Owen Scoggins, Kat Murch, and Emily Beach. So a lefty, someone who's hot, and then someone who is always consistent.
Yeah. I also did not take Kristen, primarily because I want to take her for DDO. I don't know why. Just like that's a course that she would just shred compared to everybody else.
Yeah. Well, she won Worlds on it.
So I took Katrina Allen. True. Yeah. We'll give her that. I took Katrina Allen, Missy Gannon, and Rebecca Cox.
Nice.
Which I believe Rebecca had a pretty good finish there last year at this tournament. So
cool. Perfect.
Okay. Those are picks.
Any
short and sweet.
Yeah. Anything you're like excited to see or looking forward to or worried about this upcoming tournament?
I haven't checked what the weather's going to be like. There's usually always rain or something in the forecast. I mean, we are June, and tomorrow is June, so welcome to June. Haven't checked the forecast, but it's usually rain still. But I'm just excited to watch a disc golf tournament on my homeland.
Yeah.
So that's all that I have to say.
Yeah. I'm excited for a few things. I just looked up weather, and it's going to be 72, 74, 80, and 78. So
beautiful.
Absolute perfect weather.
And there's never that much wind.
No.
Unless it's like stormy.
Yeah. So it should be pretty ideal scoring conditions for sure for those players. A few things that I'm looking forward to is one is a 4-round event. Giving those top players time to rise to the top. I think is great. It's more of a marathon than a sprint. I'm excited to see the difference in how the Pro Tour treats a Elite Series Plus event. It means to me no more than what an Elite Series is. But I just want to hear from the players kind of were they treated better? Was the grounds kept a little bit better? Will they be better coverage for us fans to watch? All those things are this is kind of one of those events that the Pro Tour is putting more eggs in this basket. So I want to see how it plays out for us watching.
For sure.
And then I'm nervous because they're on one property, but they're playing 2 different courses. And I found out they're doing 2 on the first 2 days, like one course on the first 2 days, and then one course the last 2 days. And obviously on a golf course, a lot of the shots are kind of the same. The course layout is similar. But having 2 and 2, I would be really worried if one guy can just absolutely shred the first two holes,
Separate himself.
and then like the second one just doesn't fit his style. Which obviously you have to have a well-rounded style to like well-rounded game to be successful on tour. But if one course plays more unfair or uneven than the other, and it happens to be unfair on the last 2 days, like it just be kind of disappointing. So
Yeah, I never thought about that. I guess I didn't really care if it was 2 and 2 because
Yeah.
it's just like yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of logistically a little bit easier to just say, hey, these first 2 days you're here, these second 2 days you're here, rather than
Yeah.
doing okay, here flip flop kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think I agree with your point that it probably would be better in terms of tournament competition.
Yeah.
If it were every other, but
Yeah.
either way, it'll be good to watch.
It's different than because it's a golf course. There's not going to be like one is fully open and one is fully wooded, like a ledgestone where it's like straight woods for one course and open for the other. Like, and that one you need a flip flop. You can't just have the woods players shred and then just like try hold on at the end, and you don't want to have your open bombers like struggling in the woods to finish up a tournament. So that's all I'm looking forward to. 4 days, that's an extra day to watch disc golf. So I'm gonna try watch as much of it as I can tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, my dad's coming in town this weekend,
Nice.
so that'll be good.
Nice.
And last time he came in town when there was a disc golf tournament going on, he was like totally chilled to watch with me. He enjoyed it and then fell asleep on the couch. So
just like
shout
regular
out to
golf.
Pops.
Just like regular golf.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Saturday afternoon, you finish mowing the lawn, you come inside, you eat some lunch, you sit down on the couch, you're watching an afternoon round of golf, and you just clonk out. Like that.
Yeah.
Sounds, this is so old man of me, but that sounds like a dream. I love that.
Yeah. Are you going to break out your sticks and get out to play a round of golf?
We're playing Monday and Tuesday.
Nice.
So pretty excited.
What course are you going to play down there?
We're playing the Ridge at Castle Pines on Monday, and then on Tuesday, my birthday, we're going to play Fossil Trace up in Littleton.
Okay.
So
is that the one that has
good?
like big stones and fossils?
The rocks in the middle of the fairway?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I think
that was the course my dad wanted to play, so nice. I was like, let's do it.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I haven't played golf in a long time. I hit the range like 2 weeks ago, so that was good. Make sure I can still make contact with the ball.
Yeah. I was looking at my I have a golf app that I log all my rounds in, and it gives me GPS and stuff, and it's pretty good and free. My last round was in August, and then I played one round in July, one round in June. This is of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then the time before June was August of the previous year. And then June, and then December. So I'm playing like 3 times a year is all I'm playing right now.
Yeah.
So this will be fun to actually get a couple or round back to back.
Yeah.
And then kind of a good distraction before USAMs.
Yeah,
sweet.
For sure. I played 2 rounds when I was in Denver. And golf in high altitude is so fun.
Legit.
It is so fun. Because
when you hit a 9-iron 170 yards, you're like,
oh my God,
I'm a king, man.
Not only does the ball go so much farther, but it stays straighter. Because there's less air working against the ball to go straight. But if you hit some side spin, there's less air for it to send it in that direction.
Never thought about that.
Yeah, I was just hitting.
You just have to deal with wind, but
yeah. I started playing. Well, not started, but I played a lot in Oklahoma, so I know how to deal with wind.
Indeed.
Yeah. So
Okay, well, let's get into some dealer's choice.
yeah.
I had the idea this last week or maybe the week before to do a dealer's choice of 20 questions to disc that I'm thinking of. And I think we'll
Okay.
probably revisit this segment, later points, because I think this is a fun game, fun activity. But I'm curious to see your strategy to try to figure out what disc I'm thinking of.
Okay.
And I have two. I will give you the choice between number 1 or number 2.
Let's go number 2.
Okay.
And then, hey,
All right.
do you want to write it down and show it to the camera? I will turn around, not look,
Ooh,
to like hold each other accountable. I
that
know.
means I need to find paper.
I know what mine is going to be.
Oh, actually, I got paper right here.
I mean, if you have it in your hand, you can just do that.
Okay. I'm going to show the camera.
Okay, I'm not looking.
Okay.
Cool.
Very good. It is written down, and I will track your questions with
You got
the
my
tally.
questions? Okay. Okay. Is it faster than a 6.5 speed?
Yes.
Okay. That's good. Is it faster than a 10.5 speed?
Yes.
Okay. So we're in a distance driver. Okay, that's gonna be fun. Is it I don't want to say overstable or understable. Um, is the fade greater than 2.5?
Yes.
Okay, so we are a pretty stable disc. Is the turn what's it, less than negative 1.5? So that's like, is it a -2 turn or is it a -1 or above?
Yes or no questions, sir.
I'm clarifying the question because my question is the turn it's actually less than -1.5?
You're saying is it less than that?
Yes. And by that is like,
Yes.
so it's a -2 turn for clarification.
Oh, you said less than. I'm thinking less, closer to 0.
Yeah, so that's why I was clarifying. Less,
There's less turn to this disc than.
but that's, you see how like on a scale, -1 is here and less
Yeah,
than
but if
is
you say something has
-2.
more turn, that means it has a higher number of turn,
Yeah, but
right?
I'm talking about numbers. Okay.
Okay.
All
Well,
right. So
it has less than 2 turn.
1.5. 1.5 was my number.
1.5.
Okay,
All right,
okay.
whatever.
Okay. So, all right. So we are either a -1 or 0 turn, 3 plus fade. I don't know glides. I got to find out what manufacturer this is. Um, is this a 12 speed?
No.
Okay. Um, is this an 11 speed?
No.
Okay, so it's a 13 speed or 14. Does how's that? Does Discraft manufacture this disc?
No.
Does Innova manufacture this disc? I
No.
hope not. I hope
But I
not.
like the question of manufacturer
Yeah,
because
you think that because yeah, infinite is. Yeah.
Mhm.
Is this a trilogy disc?
No.
Oh wow. Okay. Um, we got to go out there. I know. I as soon as I get out of those three, I'm like, who is this? Um, does MVP manufacture this disc?
No. And I did specify before the pod that I was not going to give a disc that was like some
Impossible. Yeah.
random tiny
Yeah.
company like a
It's not the
Alpha
hooligan
Discs or
discs. Yeah. Um, do any pros have this in their bag?
wow, that's a very
Broad
uh,
and
broad question, but I will say no.
nice. Um,
As in, I have not seen it in the bag from a pro with this disc in it.
sweet. I'm gonna try cheat and use infinite discs and do the advanced search. Why did it pull me up to that? I don't need discount.
You can't do the advanced search.
I know, I know, I know.
You can use Infinite Disc to look at manufacturers or molds, but you
I
can't do
know,
the
I know.
advanced search.
I just need to look at manufacturers because your boy is struggling. It could be Prodigy. Um, because not yeah. Um, is it Prodigy?
Nope.
Okay. How many questions am I at?
That was number 12.
Okay, so I have some time. Um, I don't know if you know this. Are there more than 2.5 variation of plastics in this disc?
No.
Okay, so it's a very niche, small run. My computer is taking forever to load. Um, error, sweet. Was this disc
You have 7 more guesses.
was this disc released in the last year?
No.
Okay, so it's an older
I
one.
I want to
You
make
can
sure I
you
can
can look.
confirm that, but I am pretty positive the answer is no.
Okay, okay. Oh, I do you even
Actually, no. I'm 100% confident.
okay, okay. Is this Discmania?
No.
I can't even get who it is. In thought space, west side.
Thought Space's MVP.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You're
And
going to kick yourself in the butt when you realize
no.
one of the wording of your questions that you asked earlier.
Uh, that's is it throwing me off? Am I getting off topic because of it?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a 10 speed, isn't it? It's not a driver with less speed. Oh my
You
gosh.
said it's greater than 10
Yeah. 10
and
point
it's not
10.
12 or 11. Those are your questions.
Yeah. So
I have them all written down.
in my head that I go to 13 speed. And that's what I'm looking for. Which I could be very wrong because it could be a 10 speed.
No, it's not a 10 speed.
Oh, okay.
That's a freebie for you. It's not 10.
Yeah. Um,
You have 5 guesses left. And then at at after 19, I will give you one clue before your final guess.
Okay. Valid. Um, is there a a pro who is sponsored by this company who creates this disc?
What do you mean?
Like it's a company who has a sponsored player on the pro tour, right?
Yes.
And they just don't throw this disc.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, possibly. Oh God, I just 13 speed. All I think
Four
of
more.
is nukes and ballista pros and oh, is this Castaplast?
Yes.
Is this your? I don't want to make that guess because they do have, I think, two 13 speeds. Um, is the
They have 3 discs above 12 speed.
okay?
And you have 3 guesses left, so you're welcome to guess whichever one you want.
Yeah. Is it? I don't see. I don't know that. Is it your Rask?
It is.
Yeah. Nice.
Good job. You finally got there. So the question that threw you off was you said, and I am only holding you to this because I'm holding you accountable. You said, is it Trilogy?
No, I know.
And no, this is not Trilogy.
I
It's
know.
Latitude 64 manufactured now, but it's not Trilogy.
I know. And I did that not on purpose, but because it still wouldn't have been able to like change my guesses, kind of.
Well, it could have been Discmania if you
Yeah, I
had
would
done
take it. Yeah,
Latitude 64. Like it could have been in the evolution line, right?
yeah, for sure.
So
For sure. Nice.
okay, well done. You had 2 guesses left. You got it at 18.
Hey, better late than
And
never.
for proof of concept, Rask. There's all your questions.
Nice. All right, I'll do the same. I'll do the same thing on my notes.
I'll keep my notes. Okay. Do you have your disc picked out?
Yeah, mine might be a little bit harder.
That's fine.
Guess.
All right. I am
And
not looking.
I already turned it away. You're good.
Okay.
It's not that hard, but it's harder because it's not in my bag, which is a guess and a hint for you. So there you go. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Thanks for the freebie.
Yeah.
Is this a driver?
No.
Sweet. Is this disc more commonly in baseline plastic?
Yes.
Is this disc less than a 1.5 or a 2.5 speed?
I might have to check. My initial thing is no.
Is this disc considered? Actually, I might not specify.
Yeah.
Is this disc greater than a 2.5 fade?
That I will need even more clarification. And do you want me to go off of what Infinite is saying or what I believe or
Kind of maybe a mix of both because like Uh, Infinite shows the RASC as a 0.4, but on the actual disc it says it's a -1.3.
Okay. That will help. And
So like I'm kind of going off of what the disc says.
yeah, I think that's more not like true per se, but it is better.
But consistent.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it more than 2.5 fade?
I don't think so.
And it's more commonly found in baseline plastic, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just confirming that. Is this disc manufactured by Latitude 64?
No.
Is it manufactured by Innova?
No.
Is it manufactured by MVP?
No.
Is it manufactured by Discraft?
No.
Wow. Not Latitude 64, not Innova, not MVP, not Discraft. Is this disc manufactured by Prodigy?
Yes.
All right. Is this disc in the A series?
No. We said it was slower than a 2.5.
No, I said, is this disc? I said, is this disc less than 2.5 speed? And you said no.
I said it was.
I have written down and you said no.
For the speed? Less than?
Yeah. Yeah, less than 2.5.
Well,
Meaning 2 or 1.
Oh. Okay, so I wasn't wrong. So what was that last question then?
My third question was, is the speed less than 2.5?
So no.
Okay. And then this last one was A series.
Yeah. No.
No?
No.
Is it in the PA series?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you have more than 5 guesses to guess all 5 of them.
Yeah. And the stability is less than 2.5, which
Yeah.
I don't think is any of them. Even the PA one's at 2.
Yeah.
And you don't bag this disc, so I know it's not a PA3.
But I don't bag that anymore.
Does this disc have a turn of 0?
Yes.
Is this disc the PA2?
No.
Dang it. Is it the PA1?
Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Lovely.
PA1. Nope.
I got it in 14.
Nice. I like that. It's kind of like my speed of like 7.5 or like my speed. Is it a fairway or faster or mid? But you did the
I just said driver.
yeah, but you said what plastic is it most commonly found in?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a good like dividing question.
Yeah, because like that would give me like I could say mid range, right? But like
It gives you a very
even
specific.
putters are like like zones, right? I would say are more commonly found in premium plastic.
Yes, and even like I'm thinking of Innova, like a Mako 3 or a Rock 3, not Rock, a Mako 3 or what's another fairway that is premium. But if I say
Mm-hmm.
baseline, like that's a rock. You know that's a
A
rock or a Rock
rock,
3.
yeah, because a
Like,
rock 3 is premium.
yes. Yeah, exactly.
Like rock 3s are hardly ever made in baseline,
Yeah.
but rocks are made in baseline.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good
Well, I don't know how
dividing
good of
question.
podcasting that was
Probably not great.
because there was probably a lot of pauses. So put us on two speed for that section, everybody.
Yeah.
And then come back down to 1.5 for the rest of the song.
Yeah. Perfect.
But that was fun. We'll come.
This is more for our
Maybe
our visual audience.
that might
on
not be
YouTube, so.
that may not be the best podcast section, but
You know what we should
I
have done?
thoroughly enjoyed that. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Next time we do that is you take off your headphones and like turn around and I will say what the disc is for our audio.
There you go.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
instead of just visually showing it. So we got to think of it.
Unless the audience is trying to guess along with us, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you could do that. But I think it's
You
more
never
fun.
know. But then the audio listener
train of
could
thought.
just, skip forward 15 seconds and say, all right, I'm not going to listen to this question now.
Yeah.
But
not hard to do. So, all right.
sick. Well, oddly enough, I only have one PA1 and it is in a premium plastic.
I have had
Fun fact.
one before. I really liked it. I don't know when I had it, but
it's deep.
It was fun to throw
for me.
Yeah, it is deep.
But it is such a sick disc.
Yeah.
The King of the Forest.
I remember
seeing
that one. You showed that to me.
Also, one of my favorite things that I used to say when I first got into disc golf was Seppo starting every one of his videos. He would say, "Alrighty, folks, it is your boy Seppo Payu here," and he would say that in every single video. And I would just say that all the time. I'd be like, "Alrighty, folks, it is your boy Seppo Payu here."
Yeah,
and I don't know why.
It's so funny how people
laugh at myself every time.
Get their kind of signature slogan like picked out for them. But it's really important because
phrases.
Yeah, you got to have them to kind of get that notoriety. You can put that on a disc. You just play that on repeat. Everyone knows kind of what's to come. So it's good.
Very good. Alrighty. Well, upcoming this weekend.
Yep.
Your boy Michael Harris has a disc golf tournament at La Mirada Disc Golf Course in Southern California. It is a 2-round tournament.
Yep, 2-round, 1 round each day. There's 2 courses, so that's
the same piece of property, though, right?
Yeah, it's a huge park. It's massive. Yeah, it's a fun course. I mean, I wouldn't say it's world famous, but it's
famous. It's kind of the old school golf course.
It's coastal famous. Yeah, like if you're anywhere in Southern California, you will kind of drive out of your way at the opportunity to play at La Mirada. For sure.
Which that and Huntington Beach are the 2 courses on my wish list when I come down to visit you.
Yeah. And yeah, it's uncoincidentally kind of the only 2 courses in Southern California. So
that's maybe unfortunately sadly true. But
yeah. Property's too expensive, so
it's true.
Can't use it on disc golfers.
It's also true.
Yeah.
Well, we want to hear what is in your bag. And by we, I mean the royal we, as in all of us listeners want to know what you're bagging for this tournament.
Yeah.
So
Um,
I'm gonna ask you questions, and I'll
okay,
let you go off. And I want to start first with your putters.
cool. I have two new putters, sponsored by Lone Star. I have not fulfilled my 90% bag yet.
You still got time.
I got time, and I just can't buy their discs right now. They are sold out everywhere all the time. But I did get my hands on two putters. I really like them. They're the same one, but the cash. Very low profile. They have a little bit of a dome. I mean, not dome, a concave to them.
Puddle
Um,
top.
puddle top. Yeah. So I really like the feel of them. I don't know if I like the soft or the hard better. It's supposed to be kind of warm this weekend. Not that warm, like mid 70s, but warmer than we've had during the week. So I think I'm gonna use the hard a little bit more, but I have two of those, so I'm liking them.
I mean, you kind of, if one's suiting you well, you stick to it.
Yeah,
And if one's not, then you bail to the other one, right?
yeah, yeah, and that's why I
Yeah.
mean, it's some people are superstitious on you need to have the same one of the same like an exact
Yeah.
replica backup. But I kind of like having two different plastics because sometimes I'm just not feeling one. Sometimes the weather does get bad. Sometimes it is really hot or my fingers are dry. So like having two different plastics in the same mold make it that I can cover more like environmental distractions, obstacles. That was the
I
word.
mean, you and I are such good putters that we need a distraction sometimes.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. I'm going on a
Uh,
week and a half of putting with these, and my confidence is an all-time high. So
is it really? That's
I feel like I
great.
can't miss outside of 12 feet. So
Oh, love it.
yeah, that's my comfort
Wait, you
zone.
mean inside or outside?
I can't miss inside of 12 feet, but outside is
Okay,
yeah. I did
you
say
said
outside.
outside.
I meant my comfort zone is kind of inside 12 feet. Um, no, it'll be fun. It'll be fine. Once I get to tournament, like I feel like I focus a little bit more and let my natural stroke kind of happen, and either sometimes I'm feeling it and I'm on for a day, or I'm off, and I don't let it get to me as much as it used to, for sure. Um, do you want me to go on to the next one?
Yeah, and then you're throwing putters.
Yeah. I have two. I got a inner core, just
From your boy.
yep, straight up shots. Um, lower tunnels. Just anytime I need it's not, it's just reliably straight. So this will be my touchy 150 foot to 100 foot, like stand still, just put a little spin on it, and it just kind of holds dead straight without fading out too much. So I
How
like it.
far away do you feel confident throwing that disc? Because I like to throw it very far distances, but not everybody does.
Um, I feel comfortable out to probably 175, 200, like 200, like really comfortable. I can obviously throw it farther. Um, but when I have more distance to cover, I kind of rely on the next disc because I know it doesn't have the opportunity to go farther.
Sure.
So I use the inner core when I'm like doing half swings because I know it'll get me there. But then when I have to do a more 80% or more swing, I rely on the caltrop because I know it is not going to go too far. Whereas the inner core, if I sometimes get on it, it can just go. So
Yeah, it does glide for sure. And the caltrop does not glide. And
it
that
does.
caltrop you found at a used bin in at the Spinners on the Green
Yeah,
disc golf shop,
in Arizona, my
which
last
was
tournament.
you were trying to find. You've been trying to
A
find one for
replacement.
forever because you have your
Yeah,
yellow trusty one that you've had for
yeah,
years.
yeah. That one is retired, which is great.
Good.
Yeah,
On the wall?
it flies like an inner core. It's not stable at all anymore.
Yeah.
It's not on the wall. Just well, I guess it is on the wall, but not like hanging up this way. It's on my rack in the garage.
Ah,
So
I got my wall.
yeah,
Okay, so you're throwing the Caltra up in the inner core.
yeah,
Any other throwing putters? Because I know you classify something that I would consider a putt and approach disc. You classify that as a mid.
yeah. No, not. I don't have any other deep, slow throwing putters.
Okay.
Going up to my mids, I only have three. Um, I'm gonna go the most stable and the shortest throwing is the A3. Um, just it's like a
What
zone
plastic is that one?
500. So just super nice, super stable, but I can get enough distance out of it. Can throw
Yeah.
little flexes. It's your typical stable approach disc. So
Yep.
I like it. And then a new addition to the bag, got the Lone Star Harpoon.
Harpoon in
This
alpha.
alpha. Yep. It's
Does
just
yours
super.
have dome to it?
It has very slight dome. It's
Okay.
not domey, but it definitely has a rounded top to it. It is not board flat.
My baseline ones don't have dome to it, but
That's nice.
my alpha does. My Bravo doesn't because it's so gummy. It just doesn't
Yeah.
have the dome. But
Yeah.
my alpha does. So I'm gonna like do the heat a pot of boiling water and sit it on top of it kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like it. I mean, it doesn't feel the same as the A3, but it has the same shallowness to it. And it just goes a little bit farther, a little bit straighter, but I feel just as comfortable throwing it. So it does the job really well. And then my only like true mid range is a Hex.
Yeah.
I don't throw it often. Um, but when I do, I just trust it and I know it's going to flip up, ride dead straight, and then just like gently come back down. Like it's just seasoned perfectly where it's not that overstable anymore and it's not swirly on me mid flight. It kind of just holds um a straight line no matter what angle I put it on. So I'm really liking it for sure.
Sweet.
Uh fairways, I
S-
got I got quite a
Moving
few.
up to fairways.
Yeah. They're gonna be in no particular order because
Okay.
that's not how I organize my bag. Um I got a Mockingbird, Alpha Plastic, Super Domey. It's kind of my just throw my furthest shot with that disc. It just goes. And it's weird because you throw it on Annie, it'll hold an Annie. You throw it flat, it'll turn over. Like not to roller, but like it'll turn. But if you throw it with just a touch of hyzer, it'll hold it the entire time. It won't like flip up flat. So I don't have I have confidence in being able to throw it far, but I don't have the most like angle control confidence with it yet, just because I haven't thrown it that often. So
Sweet.
there's a
And
lot of open
you
holes.
ripped that disc real far the other day.
Yeah, and I love the feel of it. It has nice deep rim. It's comfortable park style course. I There's a few holes I can just throw it as far as I want. Um, so I'm gonna do that a few times with it.
Sweet.
I have a scepter. I think even when I get to full Lone Star, that one might stay in the bag because it is just that reliable forehand disc. That's all I'm going to use it for. I could use it backhand, but it just feels really good forehand, flat top, shallow. I like it. So there's a few holes. I'll be using that one. And then this disc, I mean, I've talked about throwing it before, but surprised me a lot today, and I threw it really, really well, and it's growing on me. Is my AJ Carey Founders
Brazos?
Brazos? Yeah. Um, I was throwing this how I throw my. I don't know if it was as far, but like I was getting flights similar to my Explorer. So I'm gonna go out to
Good.
the field the next 2 days. So yeah, it's very surprising, very happy with how I was throwing it today. And it's going to be challenging this next disc, the Mad Cat, for kind of like my go-to fairway um, slot. So I haven't
Would you say
decided.
it's more stable than a Thunderbird for you, or is it about the same?
Um, I've never thrown a Thunderbird ever.
More stable than a Firebird?
No, no, no. This thing is, if you throw it on hyzer, it'll kind of hold that the whole way. It can flip up slightly, but it's not going to turn. Um, if you throw it hard and flat, it'll just stay flat and like ride and then fade out. Um, it's just a very controllable. It seems like it has more glide than the Brazos, which is why I liked it right away. But I was throwing them pretty equally today. So um,
Yeah, I would agree with that sentiment, but yeah, there's definitely times where you're throwing the discs same distance anyways,
yeah.
even
And
though they're
then
different speeds.
last Lone Star fairway is going to be the Frio. Just kind of
Dang,
like
you got a lot of Lone Star in your bag already.
I
That's
know,
sweet.
I know. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I don't know how often I will be reaching for these, but I can. I will. I'm starting to gain confidence in them, for sure. This one is just a nice flip up, stay straight, and then gentle finish, kind of like my beat in Explorer.
Sweet. Is it
Just a
getting
different.
good glide for you?
It's hit and miss. Like sometimes it glides really well, and sometimes it doesn't. I feel like it gets a lot of mid-flight turn, and it's very like touchy on that angle. Like
Hmm.
if you get it right and get it to go flat at the top, it does go forever. But if you release it too flat, it'll just kind of turn and like fall out of the sky, turning on you. So, um, the next ones I have are we'll go quicker because these are all I've had them. SPZ3, just
Spiz.
yeah, comfortable. It goes a long ways. Not as stable as it used to be, but I can still throw it far. And there's a lot of holes I need a turnover shot on at this course, and not a forehand. It's
So
a
would
turnover.
you throw that for more turn than the Mockingbird?
Yes, yeah, for sure. Um, I feel comfortable because that one, if I release it on hyzer, will turn and then can still gently fade back. Whereas the Mockingbird, you throw it on hyzer, it's just going to stay on that angle the whole time. So like I feel like I can carve lines with this one really well. And then when I need just a little bit more turn, I got a Falk, the -2-1. I lost it in a
Sweet.
tree, ended up climbed up, shook it down. So I got that.
Nice.
I really like it. Um, Probably the farthest flying disc in my bag right now is the Lots. Lutz. I don't know. It's a Lots. Um, it's that perfect stability where you can throw it as hard as you want and it gets that gentle S turn. So it's like it actually glides for you, um, but is still reliable enough to come back.
And the Mad Cat is a tick more stable than that.
It's a lot more stable. Yeah.
And the Scepter is more stable than the Mad Cat.
Yes.
Cool.
I would say the Mad Cat is more stable mid-flight, but less stable on the finish. The Scepter is the Scepter will get a flip up and can turn, but will dump more at the end and can get like some ground play and skip. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Do you like the
then
Mad Cat feel in your hand for forehand, or have you thrown it forehand yet?
I have. It's not bad. I threw it like 3 times forehand. I'm gonna go out to the field tomorrow and like, but it handled any like angle I put it on. I just for now I like the Color Glow Scepter. I've used it a lot more forehand. So, and then the last 2 discs are Explorers. This will be the last tournament with the yellow one. Very sad. And then I got the Tick More Stable white one.
So I feel like you have a lot of overlap in your fairways just with some of the new Lone Star.
Yeah.
Is that because you're still just kind of working the Lone Star in?
Yes. I'm working the Lone Star in.
Do you think you'll use them during the tournament?
Possibly. But I'm not like it just depends how much confidence I have and what the shot requires. Like if the shot requires like one of them I have like 40 feet before I have a gap to hit on a par 4. So it's like I really have to trust my release angle and the angle after that. I'm going to rely on my Explorers. Where if there's a 280-foot uphill shot that you have to throw a disc basically 330, I could rip on a Mad Cat or my Frio to get it up that hill. Like it's just launch it up and let it kind of do its thing. But when it's a very specific, I just don't have the full confidence in
for sure
my releasing them. So that I do have a lot of overlap, but it's also to kind of when I take this bag with me to compare and like, oh, like if I throw the Frio exactly next to my Explorer, how do they feel? How do they fly? And I could compare because like I have used those last 5 fairways very often and for a long time now, which is what I'm so excited to try new plastic and discs is to like get to those kind of same spots in my bag. And then I just got 4 drivers. This is a very very fairway friendly course. Not overly long. Some of the holes are long, but it's not overly. I have a seasoned drive that I got out of the lake. Yep. I lost that one on hole 18 at not Vista, at what's the memorial course? Fountain Hills. Yeah.
I always forget that one.
I know. So got a seasoned drive, flies really good. I'll need it for a few shots. Got a seasoned Grace, just goes far, holds any angle. Got my workhorse, my G-Star Destroyer. This is another disc. I think this and the Scepter are the 2 that I would keep as my part of my 90% out of my full bag until I find or season something in to like give me those flights. And then for my overstable is a Warbird, or I guess this is a Yeet. Actually, but it's the same thing. I absolutely love that disc. It's definitely overstable for me, but it's like a workable. It's like it's not my max distance. Like I can throw the Mockingbird farther. I can throw my lots farther, but it is very reliable and very comfortable. And I think after 6 months of using it, whatever, kind of beating it in, hitting more trees and everything, it could be a really good disc for me. So I'm really excited.
Are you trying to use that to get far distance forward and far distance to the right on a backhand?
The Yeet
Yeah.
right now.
Like, are you getting big skip ground play with it?
I am. I'm using it so like I want a disc that I can just kind of mash over on and have it go straight for a long time, and then as soon as it slows down, skip and come back. And that's what I like with my drivers is not having to be so angle sensitive on the release. I'm not a good hyzer flip to get max distance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna kind of lean back, get my elbow up, throw it, because somehow I get way better nose angle when I'm
On it,
leaning.
Annie?
Yes, leaning back and
Yeah,
kind of throwing it
makes
on
sense.
like. So when I throw it like that, I get way more like I give it the turn, and it will go straight for a long time, and then it'll fade back. And
Mhm.
that's kind of what the my my destroyer is. I throw it just a touch of hyzer, but I can still like power through it, and it'll get a nice long turn before it finishes.
Sweet.
So yeah, I really like it. Um, the Crate Disc.
What's the distance comparison between Rive and your Explorers?
I would I
Maybe
would
maybe
say
your white Explorer, your newer one.
they're they're about the same, but
Okay.
The Explorer is 370 feet dead straight, and the Rive is 370 feet with a hook at the end, or kind of like turning the whole time. So if I need to
You mean
go,
fading the whole time?
yeah, fading, not turning. Yeah, so like if I need to go around an object or an obstacle, I can
Mm-hmm.
do my more overstable, the Rive, and just like have it turning the whole time,
Yeah.
fading into the basket. Whereas if I need a tight tunnel straight shot, I can go the Explorer and it just glides, and then you'll just sit that down at the end. And that's what I like
Sweet.
about the fairways. That's why my lots goes the furthest. That's why I like the SPZ3 is like I get max distance on very straight throws.
Yeah.
Um,
Same.
and so they feel really comfortable in my hand. I can throw most of them forehand and backhand. So a lot of discs, but a lot of overlap, but they're going to be kind of replaced and washed out soon.
Yeah, you're transitioning.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So it's fun.
Sick. Well, that's the bag.
Yeah. Stacked up right here.
And I would say that's the pod, but we do just need to address that we are in fact our 2 minute drill is tournament prep, baby. Getting
Yeah.
that field work, getting that building that confidence, making them putts, just getting ready for the tournament.
Yeah. I watched a good video.
So that'll be sweet.
Yeah.
I'm excited to follow.
Yep. It'll be fun. Tournaments are always fun to it's why we do all the practice that we do is to get out and compete. So
We're competitors.
yep. I got 2 more days
Not that
to
I
dial
not
everything
that I
in.
was keeping track that I beat you in the 20 questions game, but whatever.
I
Or
beat
21 questions? Is it 20 or 21 questions?
It's 20 questions. I think it's 21 questions.
I think it's 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Anyways.
it's 21 when you have open-ended questions. It's 20 questions when you're trying to guess an object.
Okay. Didn't know.
Yeah. That would be my guess. Like 21 questions
Either
is
way.
like one of those first date games where you're just like, oh, what's your favorite movie? What do you like to do on your free time? Like that's where you ask those 21 questions. Whereas
Yeah,
20 questions,
that's been years for us. I'm sure kids don't do that anymore.
maybe. I don't know. They just go, yo, what's your Snapchat? And then send
Yo,
pics
let me
like
get
this.
your snap.
Let me take pictures of my wall or my floor, send it to you.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah. So
Classic.
all right. Yeah.
Okay.
Next time we do this, we will be together live in person. So that'll be fun. Come hang out.
It's going to be exciting.
A lot of fun content coming out. So stick around to the podcast. Follow us
Our
on
Instagrams,
YouTube, Instagram. Yep, all that stuff. So thanks for listening, and lefties out.
Peace.